1, 2, 3, come on!
If you turned 10 years old on the 27th of August 2020, then you are as old as the Constitution of Kenya. Congratulations and welcome back to Cynthia Untamed, your youthful and educational platform. Every country requires progressive laws to ensure that the citizens enjoy their human rights. You can also learn more about human rights through the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by Googling it online. The then President of Kenya, His Excellency Honorable Mwai Kibaki, led the promulgation of the Constitution of Kenya. He also took an oath of office to protect the Constitution of Kenya, as well as other leaders, including the then Prime Minister and the then Vice President. For many years, Kenya had been fighting for liberation to ensure that citizens enjoyed their rights to the fullest potential. Many people were jailed and others lost their lives along the way. For others, they went on to be recognized globally, like the late Professor Wangari Maathai, who won the Nobel Peace Prize for her contribution to the environment and political governance of Kenya. Kenyans were excited and they were hopeful that this would mark a new beginning for them. So what does this mean for you as a young Kenyan? It is important for you as a young Kenyan, as a child of Kenya, to understand what the Constitution means and how you can contribute to the governance of the country. Young people are needed in the civil service to ensure that we have the right policies for children, the right policies for young people, so that they are not left behind. It is important for you to then understand what the Constitution is and compare it to what was there before. Many young people in Kenya who were born in the 90s may not necessarily understand the previous Constitution, but it is important for you to understand what the differences are and then how you can contribute to the community as an individual. You can do this by joining organizations that work with young people in the community, from community-based organizations to non-governmental organizations, to fight for your human rights. Leaders came to Kenya to enable us to celebrate the day, and Kenyans were excited and they were hopeful. And we believe that the next 10 years will continue to mark progress and prosperity for our country. Kenyans welcomed the new Constitution of Kenya in 2010, and many Kenyans went ahead to vote for it. It is said that the Constitution of Kenya is one of the most progressive constitutions in the world because it covers a lot of rights. So if the promulgation of the new Constitution in Kenya marked a new dawn, a new beginning, what does this mean for young Kenyans? Does it mean that our lives are okay? Does it mean that we no longer lack opportunities? What are the key highlights for children and youth in Kenya? Article 53 of the Constitution gives children the right to a name and nationality, free and compulsory basic education, basic nutrition, shelter and health care, protection from violence, and the right to parental care. Youth and children with disabilities are covered under Article 54 of the Constitution, and it is important to ensure that young people with disabilities continue to learn and access opportunity through the internet. It is also important to ensure that the environment they live in is accessible to them, whether they need a wheelchair or they need sign language. It is important to ensure that we can communicate to them so that they are not left behind. Every individual has a right to sign language, and sign language is recognized as one of the main languages in Kenya under the Constitution. Under Article 55 of the Constitution, the young people in Kenya are protected. Young people need opportunity to funding their businesses. They need opportunity to employment. And Kenya has marked a very recent milestone by launching the Generation Unlimited Partnership in Kenya, where young people will access education, employment, and entrepreneurship opportunities by the year 2030. The current president of Kenya noted that this is a great opportunity for young people. Learn more about Generation Unlimited on generationunlimited.org. However, young people continue to face many challenges. For example, they lack decent housing, with many of them still living in urban informal settlements. The digital divide continues to thrive, and many of them are still unemployed despite having a good education. Young people also lack access to higher education once they clear high school, and many children continue to face violence at home, at school, and even from their peers. However, Kenya has launched the Violence Against Children report and has also launched the Stop It and Spot It campaign to ensure that children are protected from violence. Girls continue to face period poverty, with many of them lacking access to water and sanitation, and continue to miss on school due to access to sanitary towels. Kenya has also institutionalized the menstrual hygiene policy that will ensure that girls have opportunity. Drug abuse is still a major challenge to young people, and especially young people from poor backgrounds, because this is the only way they find a way of escaping the sadness that they feel due to lack of opportunity. Young people are also facing mental health challenges and lack of psychosocial support. It is therefore important to ensure that we have institutions to protect young people. In Kenya, you find that many young people in rural settlements lack access to opportunity, and especially young people in marginalized areas. Some schools still lack laboratories where young people and students can continue to learn about the science projects, and this makes it difficult for them to do well in class. In other schools, children lack desks, they lack proper classrooms, and sometimes the environment is just too harsh for them to stay in school, with many girls staying out of school due to harmful cultural practices. Children and young people in Kenya are hopeful, but they need an opportunity, which is why the Constitution of Kenya then recommended that we should have new laws that protect children and young people in Kenya, and notably, Kenya is also trying to implement to bring into action the Children's Bill and ensure that it is passed by Parliament. Young people who go to institutions of higher learning also find it difficult to translate their skills into the place of work. For others, they lack water and sanitation facilities. It is important to note that in some parts of the country, children and young people have to exchange their bodies just to access basic water and sanitation facilities, which is an injustice to the children and young people of Kenya. Children have a right to play, they have a right to socialize, and especially now in the time of a pandemic, they still need to be protected as they continue to enjoy their rights. It is important for young people then to go out into their communities and stand up for their rights and demand for action from their leaders, and ensure that they also educate their peers who are often left behind and lack information, so that they can continue to be useful citizens of the country. It is also important for young people to access business and entrepreneurship opportunities. Only then will we enjoy the full benefits of the Constitution of Kenya that was promulgated in 2010. Thank you for tuning in to Cynthia Untamed, your youthful and educational platform. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow me on Twitter at Cynthia_Opera and on Instagram at CynthiaOpera_Nyongesa.